Okay, y'all, let's get into the video. But first off, if you're new here, hi there, my name is Amber. I'm the head of marketing for an ed tech company called Clayful. Previously, for 5 years, I was at Nearpod and Vocabulary, and before that, I was a teacher, TPT seller that hit multiple milestones. And so I take all of that experience and bottle it up into teacher marketing tips for you. And that is why we're here in today's video. This video is all about time management tips for teachers, which I feel is super timely considering y'all are going back to school. You are like phoenixes that rose from the ashes, kind of got your groove back because you've had all this time to, mental health for yourself. Also, you're probably spending more time than you normally would working on your business, which is great. But how do you continue to drive that momentum forward when the school year starts? I know I'm no longer in that exact realm, but I do follow similar patterns in the sense of I am head of marketing for a company while also balancing creating content for all of you. I know sometimes people are like, how do you get that type of stuff done? And I'm going to tell you. So let's get started. Okay, so tip number 1 is we're just coming out of the gate hot, and it's make an ideal posting schedule and get super specific. And I don't just mean I'm going to post more this week or I'm gonna get to blogging again, because that is not realistic and there's no way to hold yourself accountable towards those goals. So I want you to really think about what is your ideal posting schedule? For me, it's 1 YouTube a week that's recycling content, we'll talk about that in a second, into a blog post. It's posting at least 3 to 4 reels a week and 1 to 2 static posts, and making sure that I show up consistently at least once a day on stories in some capacity where I'm driving value to you. Every Tuesday, I also send a teacher marketing tip newsletter where I take all of these efforts and just repackage them into a way that's digestible for someone who typically reads format on an email. I'm not creating new content across every single channel. Once you create your ideal posting schedule, which is more or less what I outlined for you just now, I want you to get specific on when you can actually do those things so then you can see it through. So for example, I spend 1 day a week where I batch a bunch of Instagram reels. And for me, that works best on either a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning after I get my workout in and I have that pre-workout flowing through me, and then I feel good knowing I have all of my reels ready for the week to go. And notice I batch the reels, but I don't write the captions. I do that maybe when I'm sitting on my couch or something and watching a YouTube video, then I do that particular work. I encourage you to think about the level of difficulty that each project, each piece of content takes to come to life, and where in the work week does it make sense for you to do that. And I don't just mean ideally, I mean realistically, because if you're not making it realistic, you're not going to meet those goals. You're going to beat yourself up about it. Then you're going to feel like you're burnt out because you're doing all this work, but it's not actually happening. And then you're going to fall off the wagon, and we don't want you to fall off the wagon. So that's why this is a really real, honest video about making it work for you. And the goal is not, oh, you have to post 5 times and you have to do all these different things. It's going to vary from content creator to content creator, and the number one thing that you need to do is whatever you're doing, build a muscle and be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, then you're just gonna popcorn show up and your audience, it's not gonna really resonate. I want you to think about your short-term projects and your long-term projects. So what did you get from this? Well, for starters, you're going to make an ideal posting schedule and exactly what is your goal? And then I want you to look at it again and think, can I actually realistically do this within every week? And then from there, you're probably gonna scratch some things out. Then I want you to look at your schedule and decide, okay, based on my schedule, when do I need to do these things? And when does it make the most sense in my week to actually do these things? And that may vary from week to week, but try to come up with more or less a general idea, and you may need to revisit that each week. Okay, the second tip is to utilize your small pockets of time whenever you can. Because here's the thing, we may not always have 3 or 4 big hours to crank out a ton of content, and honestly, with busy lifestyles, that's just not possible. As a content creator, I definitely live by the mindset of you need to create more content than you consume. There are people that are not content creators who are constantly scrolling on social media. Maybe that's you too, that's okay. But what I think about it is that's how they want to spend their time on social, is consuming that different content. I am rarely scrolling on social media because that energy, that mindless energy, can actually be used cranking out producing something completely new or recycling a piece of content that I need to recycle into another format. The tip is catch yourself whenever you're mindlessly scrolling and really be honest with yourself. What could I be doing in this time that's a little more productive? And I'm not saying that you need to hustle and grind every moment, but you should be aware of your mannerisms to know that if this is something that you want to do, it does take more organizational mindset shifts in order for you to reach those particular goals. If you have 30 minutes of uninterrupted work time, guess what? That's 30 minutes to move forward in a project, whereas you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have been that much closer to publishing that new TPT product or whatever it is you're working on. Okay, the third is something I am super passionate about, and it's stop recreating the wheel and start recycling your content. And I understand that is so much easier said than done, but it's all about building a habit, and it's all about strengthening that muscle so then it becomes easier down the road. I have quite a few content pieces that I've created across my blog, YouTube, and I'll link them down below, all about recycling content. But here's the TLDR. Start with one piece of content from your main channel, the one main channel that you want to focus on. That's the one that at the end of the day, that's where your bread and butter is going. And I want you to, from that main channel, create a process that works best for you to recycle across your other channels when and where necessary. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to walk through my exact recycling process, but I definitely hold myself accountable of making sure that every single idea, because a content piece is an idea, that idea fits in this content piece and needs to be sliced and diced into at least 5 other formats in some capacity. And I have those, and I have a checklist that I use to help keep myself accountable. Everybody works differently. I have gotten into a really good habit where I just know what I need to recycle, but recently I decided I wanted to see it through. So I created a template that looks like this, where I can put the idea and then hold myself accountable to actually share the idea across all of the other channels. And what you'll notice is it has like even YouTube shorts on there, because here's the thing, like, although you don't need to be everywhere, and I'm not saying you do, I am trying to get into a habit of testing things so then I can report back. I know how to recycle something for Instagram or the blog or for Pinterest pins. It takes me longer to recycle something for YouTube or recycle something for TikTok because I just haven't built that habit yet. So something like this is going to help me stay accountable and really see where I'm lacking in stretching my ideas across. Of course, everybody's different. This is what is working for me to keep myself accountable. So what did you get from this tip? I encourage you to look at your main channel's content pieces and look at your second channel that you have. And your second could even be an email list. And I want you to think, have I recycled the last 10 content pieces, as long as they're relevant to your audience around this time, to that other channel? And if you haven't, then I encourage you to really think about what that could look like for you. Again, everybody's recycling mindset is different. I work with teachers in Teacher Marketing Academy to help them find that. And if you have any questions, you can always leave me a comment down below. Tip number 4 is to invest in systems that will help you do more, make more, and of course, sell more. Everybody's at a different stage in their business where they're willing to invest a little bit more, and I totally recognize that. So know that I'm coming with free and paid ideas to help you scale out your business. I'm not saying you need to use every single one. Take the one that works the best for you. So for me, organizational systems really help me stay afloat. I keep a content repository that has absolutely every single piece of content that I've had and how it's recycled. I use that in Airtable, and that allows me to really see where my content is housed across each particular channel. And then I also, even from my Pinterest strategy, I'm able to see the date last pinned, and I have the pinning description, the images, the link with the UTM code, like everything completely organized in there. I also keep track of my emails and when I send and the subject line and what was the success rate, and also what topic that email was, because then I can see, okay, why did this one resonate across others? I look at ones from time of year, and it really helps me keep an analytical eye of my content. So I live and breathe by Airtable as my content repository. A huge platform that has helped me go from selling $5 and $10 products to $500 products is using Kajabi. I think Kajabi is the coolest, most robust way to monetize your knowledge, and it's so applicable for a teacher. I sell not only paid courses, I sell digital products and templates. I can, if I wanted to, I could sell a paid podcast. My whole point is I monetize like one-on-one coaching with teachers. There's so many different facets. It also comes with a website. So I use that to link all of my products, and it comes with email marketing and a super robust email marketing platform. So it's really amazing because all of the systems already talk to each other in the same tech system. And so I'm not having to log into all of these different resources to get what I need and pull it together. It's literally in one place, and that organization saves me time. I think Kajabi is worth every penny, and it's the reason why I'm able to do what I do during the day and still have my systems work for me at night. If you're watching this video in the month of August, Kajabi is running a promo where it's 3 months for $99. I'm gonna leave my link down below. If you use my link, I will personally help you set up your Kajabi and help you learn what it could look like and how to best utilize it for your business. If you have any questions about it, again, leave a comment. I welcome conversation. And I know it's completely changed my revenue stream, and I would love for it to do the same for you. Okay, let's talk about something super important, and it's your mental health. Everybody's mental health is so important. I believe as a content creator, because you're in front of a camera pretty often, it is hyper important. Is that even a word? Even though I personally love creating so much content, I consider it my hobby. Some people like to watch television, go hiking, go bowling. I have no idea. I love doing all of those things too, but I love majority of the time creating content because I'm define myself as a super creative person by nature, and it is my hobby and my passion. So maybe some of y'all feel the same. One thing to keep in mind as you're constantly creating is you can burn out because you're not giving to other parts of your life. So I created these templates to help me stay focused and see the bigger picture, because like I could seriously just be in front of my computer, in front of the camera, happily creating, but I need to invest in my friends. I need to invest in my family. I need to remember to clean my house. Like I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes I feel like I get so in the zone of just doing that. People are like, how do you get so much done? I'm like, oh, I forgot to do like other normal things too. But thank you for reminding me, because now you're reminding me to be a normal human. My first template that I created, it's built off of the wellness wheel, 8 different parts of us that make us whole: spiritual, intellectual, social, emotional, financial, occupational, physical, and environmental. And so I have these, I'll link them down below. They're editable. And basically what I do is I pick 2 things from each dimension. And my goal is to at least check 1 thing off the box each week to just make sure that I'm doing more than just creating. I also need to remember to buffer social events. So this is just like my little social calendar that just allows me to see, okay, where do I have things going on? And honestly, this is not just for social. This is also so I can see, okay, if I want to get X content done, I definitely can't do it this day, so I have to do it after work this day. Or maybe I need to wake up a little earlier and just kind of make sure I can find time. And then I try to set realistic week at a glances, so then I know, okay, am I actually spending time with friends? Am I doing the things that I set out to do? What's realistic for the week? Because we can have all these grand ideas, and I think one thing about marketing is it's a never-ending bottle of ideas, but it's what you do with it that matters. And I think that also is the same with your social life. You can say you're gonna hang out with people, but are you actually gonna do it? And I even have on my wellness task, I have text at least 3 people a week that are not in the top of my phone text. And that reminds me to make sure that I'm catching up with people that I don't normally catch up with, or that I forgot, because I want to make sure and nurture those relationships because they give back to me, and I want to make sure that I'm giving back to them too. Now, the third planner is the lunch planner, because y'all, grocery stores have gone up. It is so much more expensive. Like for just me, it costs me $100, sometimes a little bit more a week with that. And then I also pay for Trixie's subscription. She does Farmer's Dog. I live and breathe by it. I can give you a free box. Seriously, true story. Trixie was 12 pounds when she was a healthy weight when she was on Farmer's Dog. I didn't want to pay, and I know that sounds absolutely terrible, but I'm gonna be honest. And then I switched her food. And when I switched her food, she dropped from 12 pounds to 7, and now she's underweight. And if y'all follow me on Instagram, she's like my pride and joy, and I just feel like a terrible dog mom. So she's back on Farmer's Dog. We're monitoring her weight. She's still the cutest thing ever. She's getting extra treats, but like, I think seeing that data makes me now plug Farmer's Dog just because it's like my dog's health and it's healthy food. So yeah, I don't know how I got into that. I was talking about food. Yeah. Okay, I could go on and on about all of the different tips. Like honestly, I actually left out one of the biggest ones, which is hire help. It's actually something I'm considering doing, is hiring a YouTube editor. I'm not sure if I'm gonna hire a YouTube editor. It's something that I'm thinking about. So if you know anybody, let me know. I just want to be active on here, and I think I could have more of a life if I don't spend my nights editing. We're just talking about the realities that's content creating, you know? But all that to say, be realistic with your goals. Don't beat yourself up. Know that you can only do so much. You are a finite resource, and when it's time, you can outsource. Use organizational systems to help push you through and automate what you can. Thanks for watching the time-saving tips. What time-saving tips are you gonna live by this back to school year so you can invest more time with your business? Let me know down below. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye, y'all.